Exit age, the retirement calculator that actually tells you when you can retire. There's one question that every person thinking about retirement actually wants answered. It's not how much do I need, nor am I on track. It's when can I retire? Give me a date, give me a year, give me something real to aim at, and let me understand what my pathway to retirement looks like and my runway once in retirement. Today, I'm going to demonstrate the power of Exit Age to support you in that journey. So once you've gone through and landed into the app itself, this is where you get. Now, quick bit of navigation. Along the top, we've got a save feature, a load feature, managing your email preferences, managing your account as well. There's also information in the drop-down buckets to help complete as you go through. But today we won't go into those. I'll just take you through a real life example. So first off, me. So I'm 43 years old. I'm going to leave retirement at 67, being the general age of retirement in the US, the UK and Australia. Now for transparency, I'm originally from the UK and currently based in Australia. So, assets. Now, these are the assets that we're going to be able to use to fund our retirement. So really, this is everything apart from the family home. Exit age allows for multiple assets, which is important, as each asset's likely to have a different balance and a different rate of return. For me, I've worked in the UK and Australia, and I've got a pension or superannuation account in both. For the US, this is your 401k equivalent. Now, the values I'll put in today, they're in Australian dollars, so at current exchange rates, they're a little bit higher than what you'd see in the US and UK, so just work with these numbers. So we've got $150,000 monthly deposit for the UK is 0, as I currently do not pay into it. It's in a relatively high returning account, and that's it. Simple as that. Next one. Australia superannuation, probably an interesting word if you're based in the US. Effectively, it is just a pension scheme. So this is currently what I'm paying into it, slightly lower risk, but still high in the scheme of things. And what I've got there as well, once you get down here, you've got a pre-retirement return, so that's before you hit the retirement, and then post. And it, generally speaking, once you hit that post period, you will reduce the return or the risk that you're prepared to take on. But again, these are all personal decisions. So I've got a modest share portfolio from an employer. $1 a month. There we go. And I've also got very small amount of crypto just to be on the bus. Not actually looking to transform my life from it. Okay, so for me, that's my assets. Now, I think as well it's important to note that I'm not providing financial advice, nor does the Exit Age tool. I'm demonstrating this calculation of what this tool is enabling to do and the information that it provides the users. Now, viewers of this demo and users of the tool will need to consider their own independent financial advice before making any decisions. Okay, so for me, look, I don't have any savings going in, but if you did have savings, very simple, add a new asset, put your balance in, monthly deposits, pre and post returns, and away you go. Now, the next one to look at is liabilities. So for me, I'm 40 years old. Oh no, sorry. I bought a property at 40 years old with a 25-year mortgage, meaning if I retire before 65, I will be carrying the debt into retirement. So it's important that these go in, and a lot of calculators miss this step and assume that retirement is entirely debt-free, but if you've got investment properties, that just may not be appropriate. So Exit Age considers those long-term liabilities. I wouldn't be putting in short-term loans, so that could be a credit card, it could even be a vehicle loan if you know it's going to be discharged well in advance of retirement. If you're in retirement or very close and you know you're going to have a car loan, I'd be putting it in at this point. Now, the final step of our data entry, now this is a very important one, and it's one that I often see oversimplified by retirement calculators. So this is, what are you actually going to spend? You know, what, what is it? You know, that you see lots of generic multipliers, 4% of your portfolio value or 70% of your current income. Now, for me, none of those are me. None of those are what my lifestyle is. So what we've got here is the ability to enter those payment lines that match your lifestyle. They're input at today's values, and then the tool itself will look at indexing them at a rate of inflation, such that they get deducted at an appropriate value at the retirement point. So I've got general living expenses, I've got car, house maintenance, just getting a provision for that, and then travel as well. And for me, travel is probably the most important thing I'm looking at in retirement. I've got a fairly healthy budget there. My family, or my wife and I, we want to travel. We want to go and do the road trips through North America. We want to go and spend some prolonged time in Europe, traveling around, experiencing the different languages and cultures. So this for us is a key driver. So we've got the ability to put it in there. That's all of our fields input. So the next thing we get is what we call the retirement runway. Now, it's important to note this is the baseline, okay? So let me explain what we're looking at, because this is something that I couldn't find anywhere else, and this is why I built it. What I wanted to see was, what's my net worth? What are my assets? What are my liabilities and spending? So within the chart, we can add our assets. We can look at how our liabilities are decreasing, and then we can look at our spending into retirement. And you can add or remove them as you see fit. But it's important to note this is the baseline, because whilst what I'm looking at here is fantastic from a financial perspective, it actually isn't speaking to what I want from my life and from retirement. And I feel this is where a lot of the other calculators go. They make some broad assumptions and they just give you an answer. But for me, the power of what we're about to do now is how we take this baseline, which has got a number of basic assumptions in it, and we start to play with them. And what we then get to do is we then get to find our exit age. So the first thing that I've been taught, or one of the things I've been talking about, is that really desire to travel within retirement. Now, retiring at 67, it's the default option here. That doesn't suit what I'm looking to do. We're looking to retire at a younger age so that we can enjoy our retirement and actually get out whilst we're still able and go and see the world. So I've changed that from 60 to 65, 67 to 60, sorry. Okay. As you can see, we've radically changed the runway. Our liabilities are still going into retirement, and actually our money's depleting at 83. So, getting closer, but we're still not there. So what we can then do is we can say, okay, well, what happens? We want to retire early 60s, so let's just go one extra year. What happens there? Okay, so we're now up to 87 with our assets, which is better. But we might say, well, what would happen if I could increase my deposits by 500 a month? Okay, it's not made a huge difference. A little bit, but not a lot. What if I kept higher returns into retirement? What would that do? Wow, significant change there. As you can see now, we're still making lots of money. So probably gone a bit hard. Let's take this back to 8. And what this is giving me targets that we can actually then start to think about. And there we go. So money's still going at 94. We've retired at 61. Okay, let's bring that back down. Let's bring that down to 60. That was our original target. Okay, so what I'm finding here is I'm getting towards a sweet spot. So you can see that the age seems to be a really big driver. My monthly deposit really wasn't. I could probably take that back and not really impact anything. But my rates of return, they were a key driver. You could see that. And then what about my spend? So what if I just did 1,000 less? Okay. Take that down to 10. Wow, big change. So $2,000 a month less in spending really moved the dial there. So what I'm doing here is I'm really setting myself up with my roadmap. It's showing me what I can look to spend, what I can look to get on returns, and the ages I can look to work for, and then really understanding how these levers drive that runway enables me to then go and have informed conversations with financial advisors before making those investment decisions and really understand what difference am I making. Because as we saw, by putting in an extra deposit, for me in my personal circumstances, it didn't move the dial. Now that could be because of my age, or it could be because I'm not actually able to put in enough extra a month. But I know that's not a lever I should be looking to pull. For me, it's those returns, actually the retirement age, and it's then considering my spending. Now, if I'm set on my spending, let's take that back up to 12. Maybe the conversation my wife and I need to have is, well, can we work until we're 61 rather than 60? So we're getting pretty close there. 95. If you then went to 62, so just 2 extra years, massive difference, absolutely massive. So you can really see those tipping points, and that's the power of this tool. It enables you to test what your scenarios are and then give you that view of what is your exit age, what is your path to retirement. And for me, that date, that 62, the point there where Warren retires, that's so much more valuable than a number. I know now, based on the above, what I've got to be looking to achieve to make this happen. But that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming in as we got on screen at the moment, for that age of 62, following the rules that we've set above. It's not abstract. Suddenly I've got something which is real, it's tangible, I'm working towards it. And that allows me to be confident in what I'm doing as I move towards retirement. Exit age. Know exactly when you can stop working. Find your exit age now. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Put your own numbers in, see your runway, play with your variables and find your exit age. At exit age, we don't sell products. We do not earn commissions on your investment and we don't manage your money. We sell one thing, this tool that supports and provides you clarity on your journey, and you've seen it in action. I'll see you in the next one, where I look a little bit deeper into scenarios and capabilities of exit age.